Breaking this afternoon, the jury coming back in the case of 3 police officers accused of beating one of their own. Good evening. I'm Samantha Jones.
And I'm Corey Stark. In the past 30 minutes, we've learned the jury came back with verdicts on some of the charges the officers faced.
News 4's Lauren Traeger was the only TV reporter in the courtroom. She joins us live. Lauren.
Guys, just a very dramatic and really emotional outcome to this trial that has been going on for 2 weeks here. And a lot of people have said it says a lot about both police and race relations in the city of St. Louis. And the jury today decidedly coming back in favor of those officers who were accused in all of this. I want to get you up to speed now on this case. Those officers were Christopher Myers, Dustin Boone. Those are current St. Louis police officers, as well as Stephen Corti, who is a current police officer, Boone and Myers being former police officers. They were accused in this trial of severely injuring one of their own, an undercover black detective, Luther Hall, who was working protests back in 2017. And he was severely injured when he was arrested, taken down by police officers. Again, the 3 accused are white. Officer Hall is an African-American man. And he did testify in this trial very emotionally, talking about those injuries and the long-term impact he has had from them. The prosecution putting on a very detailed case with text messages, some cell phone video, some pictures of the aftermath, but the defense arguing that there was not enough evidence, that there was certainly reasonable doubt that it was those officers who were involved. And now we know the jury has come back with their verdict. It's a bit complicated, just like the case itself. So against Dustin Boone, he has been found essentially in a mistrial. So the jury said that they could not reach a verdict in his particular charge. He was charged in that beating, and they said we cannot reach a decision. So that has been declared a mistrial, which means the prosecution can come back and retry it if they want to. When it comes to Christopher Myers, he was found not guilty for his part in that beating, but they did declare a mistrial when it came to the second charge, which was destruction of evidence. So again, his case might continue to some extent, although a big win for the defense here when they found that he was not guilty of the beating. And then that third officer, Stephen Corti, was only charged for the beating, a violation of civil rights, and he was found not guilty. So he was the officer that was allowed to essentially walk completely free from this courthouse here today. And we spoke with his defense attorney just a few moments ago. He was talking about how he felt that this case was essentially a DOJ prosecution that should never have happened in the first place. They really cast some doubt on some of the testimony and some of the other people that had testified, some of the witnesses, including another officer who testified here saying what he saw. And he has actually pleaded guilty for his part in the beating as well and is awaiting sentencing, but the defense really casting doubt. So clearly, again, those jurors coming back and finding that there was not enough evidence at this particular point to find anyone guilty of anything, and they were not able to come to an exact decision on 2 of those counts in this, again, very complicated case. It is worth noting, because people have talked about this before, originally when the jury was seated, it was an all-white jury. There was one black person that was an alternate that ultimately did get to weigh on this decision, but they polled all of the jurors at the end of this trial, and they all agreed, they had to agree to the decision that they came to in this particular case. We did try to talk with some of those jurors just a few moments ago. They did not want to talk with us. We did, however, talk with the former president of the Ethical Society of Police that represents black police officers in the city of St. Louis. She was clearly very upset, very emotional, says that this was really, really a difficult thing for them to have to experience when she says Luther Hall was so clearly had his rights violated and so badly injured in all of this. And she feels that there are 2 justice systems, one for black people and one for white people. And she's very, very disappointed in the outcome of this trial. Again, a complicated case, 2 weeks long here. I was that only reporter, as you mentioned, in the courtroom, very emotional. You could really feel the tension and those just the nerves, quite frankly, from people that were sitting there in the courtroom waiting to hear these decisions. And when some of the decisions came forward, I could see some of those former officers getting very emotional, some of them tearing up, certainly. This has been a difficult thing for a lot of people. The victim, Luther Hall, was here in court. We have not gotten a chance to catch up with him yet to get his reaction to this. We're certainly going to work to do that. But again, guys, just a very, very difficult trial that has been going on for a long time. And we will see what impacts, if any, come from this. Back to you.
A lot to dissect there. You definitely unique perspective as the only reporter in the courtroom for us tonight, Lauren. Thank you.